So, for all of our benefit, Mr. Buddha Chandrasekhar brings a background from AICTE, and I would like to add a few inputs about him. So he's bringing a global expertise, and he brought a lot of changes in the way the skilling ecosystem is being built. And he is the one man who is instrumental behind building the NEET portal, which is coming out for e-learning and ensuring that the learning outcomes are being delivered. So version 2.0 is recently rolled out, and he and I think Mr. Ilango, these two people made taken a lot of new initiatives in making sure that the students are able to the technical students are able to experience real hands-on with the help of technology, and the platform and the kind of facilitation, the kind of checks and balances put together is going to really help every student. And last year for the initiative version 1.0, across the country, almost like 90,000 students have taken advantage out of the initiative what they brought in. How it is going to help? Every student is going to be entitled to every college and the universities are being shared. They have partnered, they kind of developed a model where the private and public partnerships, and they brought in the education system. And with that partnership, they are delivering the content to all the students, making the content to be reachable and available to the students, so that then they can get benefit out of it. Thank you, Buddhaji, for taking that such a beautiful initiative, and we really pleasure to have you on board with us today.
Yeah,
Please
thank
take.
you, Ji. Thank you very much for inviting me. And as this is my favorite subject, I always wants to be with AI MI guys, because I myself is a AI MI guy. So we daily play with billions of records and try to create something useful, thought out of it. So recently, what I was slowly observing the pattern. See, it is about every country has a critical infrastructure sectors. Okay, you name it a health or government, or if you take roads, or if you take smart cities, everywhere we are generating not even terabytes, petabytes of data. And now the data is increasing day by day, and the kind of a computational power of our mobiles got increased. I mean, I recently purchased, I think 2 days back, purchased a new one. I mean, I see this beast is so fast, and it has a kind of a computational power. The kind of a computation power it has, it has so many elements to capture the data, and it can share the information back and forth. So I think what I see is now the kind of a devices what we are using, the computational power of devices, once upon a time, which we used to call as supercomputers. Those supercomputers are in our hands now, in a very small pocket devices. So we can understand and we can realize the kind of a data we are going to have in this, and the kind of a data transmission happening back and forth. So now the thought process here is, once we have the data, what we are going to do with that data. So a few years back, we worked on one of the project for a biggest car selling company in USA. So they want us to create a system where they want to understand what kind of models, what kind of cars they are selling on what level, and what kind of people they are selling the cars, whether they are Hispanic or they're Indians, and what is their their job responsibilities, and are they migrants, or are they Americans. They want us to create such kind of an applications. So slowly we digged in. I mean, this happened like 18 years back. Okay, I'm not talking about current days. I mean, 18 years back, someone approached us to work on a similar kind of an application. So when we started doing it, then we realized the power, we have 60 years data in front of us, huge data in IBM mainframes, and now we need to compute all that information and convert that and put it in a very meaningful format. I think that is where the artificial intelligence comes into picture. And the artificial intelligence basically not only just mimicking our human behavior, it slowly it went towards data-driven applications like machine learning, and now slowly we even moving towards deep learning and trying to understand the sentiments, analytics. I mean, whatnot. I mean, I think it became like one of the critical infrastructure, for every country. So the slowly one of the area of data or cyber security as well as artificial intelligence became a critical infrastructure. So when I say critical infrastructure can be used for food production, for utilities like electricity, etc., for banking services, in space, in communications, in transport, in defense, in government, in health, in public safety. I mean, you name it, we have the role of artificial intelligence as well as machine learning. And having said that, in a recent report I have read, and I'm so happy that the requirement of artificial intelligence machine learning professionals are almost 400% increased, in the numbers. And globally, every sector needs artificial intelligence, professional. So having said that, in India, what I see is a lot of people just give a course content, but they never give a real-time experience. See, that is where I see, Hanmantrauji, the beauty. What you do is, what I really like in your company applications is you purely go in depth, you dive into the application, and you will give a real-time scenario. See, giving terabytes of information to the students, and they are trying to derive something out of it, and creating a decision-making dashboards for the end customers is the real beauty. Because you take example, in education, we have 35 crore students. Okay, so what we do, we use advanced deep learning to understand the learning patterns of students. Okay, so now we are even going very well advanced. And now even slowly, we recently, as you know, now, new education policy came up, right? So for the new education policy, we have used artificial intelligence and deep learning to understand the sentiment of the people, whether it's a positive or a negative sentiment we have collected. We worked on all negative sentiments to see how we can convert those negative sentiments. Because see, the negative doesn't mean it's negative. It's a kind of an input for you, right? Example, if I say, I recently, as I told you, I purchased a new mobile. Okay, this mobile doesn't have a jack, for earphone. That's a feedback. It's not a negative feedback. Okay, it's a feedback, right? So now the thought process is someone needs to capture it. So it is very difficult to capture this kind of information manually, because humanly it is very difficult. So the missions has that capabilities, and using artificial intelligence and machine learning, we can read all that information, and we can basically convert that information into a meaningful format, and we can feed that in back. So basically, this artificial intelligence machine learning basically helped us to feed in our national education policy as an input of every user. We have taken inputs from teachers, from parents, from students, from every sectors, from industrialists. And we have captured, we have converted, we understood the requirement, we understood the pain points, and we upgraded our national education policy in a such a way that, now everyone loved it. It's all because of the artificial intelligence and machine learning patterns what we have used on the background. See, that's the beauty of the system. See, if you take a banking applications, or if you take any public health, every application has artificial intelligence as well as machine learning appended on the background. And as you already know, the NEET initiative or various other initiatives we have, like example, we have the internship portal. So that portal where we have a complete artificial intelligence driven, and it has a lot of machine learning, like, it has lots of algorithms embedded in it. And we have written a very well advanced algorithms, so that some of the applications, the mission takes care of 90% pain, and it will make sure the end user just do a click and finish their application. So we made our human lives easier. So the artificial intelligence gives that kind of a capabilities. Not only that, imagine a country security. As you know, there's a lot of attacks happening from China as well as from Pakistan and various other countries, the cyber attacks. So where we can recognize the attacks, But once we recognize the attacks, I think we need to analyze that data, right? So that is where, I see the artificial intelligence and deep learning comes into picture. So it is about, now it went in a way that, it became one of the part of our life. And I request every student to learn this, because irrespective whether you are a computer science student or you are CA or you are a lawyer, but everyone needs it, because data is the one, which is very critical, either it is for an education sector or for wherever you go, data is very important. So if example, if you take, what I want to know what is happening with Big Spilani, it is very difficult unless until I dig into their data. See, data is everything. So now if you really ask me, every day we are receiving more than 32 to 34 cyber attacks from China. Why they are attacking us? They are not interested on an individual, but they are interested on our infrastructure data. They're interested on our banking data, but data, see that data. So someone we need secure, someone who can derive a meaningful information out of it. Imagine a kind of an application where you receive one of the retail sector entity on a daily basis or on a weekly basis. The minute you step in, it welcomes you. So you can even do a customization, personalization. See, the beauty of the artificial intelligence and machine learning is it not only acts like a mission and do a super fast computing, it even acts like a human. That's the beauty of it. You can simply say that, it is kind of a robo 1.0 and 2.0, where Vasikaran invented something, which became a very popular super hit movie of Rajinikanth in Robo, that Chitti the Robo, right? So basically, the artificial intelligence and the machine learning is going to help you to become a Vasikaran, where you can create this Chitti kind of a robots. You can take it like that. The super computing power mission with a human emotions. I think that's the beauty of it. And in India, we have so many requirements, because as you know, recently in last 5 years, we have more than 250 billion investments in India on various critical infrastructures. And lots of investments are coming towards electronics, electronic devices, PCB manufacturing, automobile, auto components, on the artificial intelligence side, on the cyber security, in various sectors, including banking and banking services. So plenty of opportunities for our students. And I highly recommend every student, irrespective whether they are from engineering or a non-engineering stream, try to understand and learn the basics of it. Because every time when you go to social engineering, example, you go to Facebook or Twitter, you see so many messages, right? I think that's one of the platform where you can learn artificial intelligence as well as machine learning. I think that is another way of doing it. I'm sure Hanmantraoji will give you a lots of information so that you can dig into it and you can practically see it, because seeing is believing. And now it is not only seeing, you are going to do it. I think that's the beauty of it. See, you touch it, touch the data, look into it, create a three-dimensional data out of it, and create so many dimensions out of the same similar data, and create different data sets out of it, and create some public data sets also. Example, I can give you one assignment if you want. What is the current uh, educational percentage of ratio of girls, girl, each and every district in India. You can take that as one of the scenario. You can dig into that information. The public data sets are already available. You can use artificial intelligence, machine intelligence, and do a deep learning and try to understand and see why the women, girl, childs, their dropping rate is high. Why? What we need to do? And what is the thought of citizens of this country to improve those services? See, this is one of the case studies, but you can take similar kind of case studies in so many areas. And now lots of simulations are happening. See, you see lots of sensors are there. Example, if you take our smart cities, we have 100 smart cities getting implemented in India. Example, if you take Andhra, we have Visakhapatnam, Vijayawada, Tirupati, Kakinada. These four are smart cities. So lots of sensors we are using. And using that sensor, we are capturing lots of information. And every grid is connected in India. If you take an electrical grid to banking grid to, if you take a road infrastructure grid, every water grid, all are interconnected. But how these grids are getting corrected and how these grids are talking with each other. See, the beauty is everything now became a digital data, right? It's a digital world. I think when we speak about digital world, the artificial intelligence and machine learning, deep learning plays a major role. So I request every student to be participate and try to understand what all you can, and try to be experts in this area and add this as one of the value addition in your profile. And I thank Hanmantrauji and others for giving this opportunity. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Thank you very much. And just for your information, now we as a government of India under Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, we are a technologist, and we are not like babus. Okay, so you can come back to us with any kind of complex application. We ourselves in-house, we are developing all these applications, Hanmantrauji. So we have that knowledge, and we know how to use this data and how to convert this data into meaningful information. So feel free to come back to us if you want any information or any kind of help. We are ready to do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for such a wonderful speech, as well as for inviting us and giving us the opportunity. We'll definitely get back to you, because EdTech is the space where all the stakeholders and as a nation, you are building the human capital for the nation. How we can raise the skilling ecosystem into a new direction from where it was to today. And with all our inputs, we would like to come back to you and come up with a beautiful solution. Thank you.
So I would like to add what Hanuji said. With the new education policy in focus, we look into an opportunity to skill a lot of students in this area, and as you said, that so much investment has gone into it. So we would like to cater to that kind of investment, the human capital which is required. Mostly and other products also, as Hanuji would have talked to you and would come and up with some of the things there. So this new education policy, we are very positive that a lot of people will get this, has got this message that you have to skill yourself in deep learning, artificial intelligence, cyber security, and hopefully we as a team will create a niche out of it. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Sinaji, I mean, I just want to add one point to you. See,
Yes,
the way we have changed this entire paradigm shift is, see, previously everything is on a rote learning method. Okay, so now what we have done for the NEP 2020, we have taken the industry inputs. As you know, now industry 4.0 is fully driven in a digital world, right? So we have taken the inputs from the requirements from the industries. And even we went to various countries. We understood just various stakeholders who is going to invest in India, and we understood their requirements, and we try to feed in all that information to our national education policy. And it is kind of a plug and play opportunity. So we are continuously taking the inputs from the once we implement it, we are going to take the inputs from the teachers, from the faculty, from the students, from the industries, and continuously feeding this to the new education policy. So it's agile in nature. Okay, so that's the beauty of the new education policy. And we want to make sure every time, imagine after a few years, we have industry 5.0. Okay, so I'm sure it will. So we are going to adopt that so that's the way we have created it. And we are open for all the sessions. And as you know, it's not a one man's, responsibility. It's every citizen's responsibility to make our developing country as a developed country and become a Vishwaguru, because it is not only about creating a national education policy, it is about creating a future for this country. So because the minute we empower our students, what happens? They will empower their entire family. The minute the family get empowered, the society will get empowered. The minute society get empowered, everything, the entire nation will get empowered. So that's the beauty of it. It's interconnected objects. Okay, so all we are doing is just connecting all those dots together in one place. And I request prestigious universities like BITS Pilani and various others, you all please join. Let us all work together and create a beautiful developed country for our future generation.
Sure, sir. So one more thing, it's like I'll take just 1 minute to add up. When Hanuji approached us and we now have a collaboration and things are going forward, as you rightly said, that industry involvement is there. And this has been taken up by Brain Labs, and there would be lot of industry interaction. They have come up with some ideas and they will be shortly coming up and revealing their ideas. So what we are looking at is not just training students, we are looking at also having a lot of industry interference and industry interaction with students, and the real time scenario we want to teach. We want to go into the traditional methods of what has been going on. The industry interaction would be more often done, and the kind of product what Hanuji and Brain Labs have devised, you will be very happy to learn that this all aspect has been taken care of.
Haji.
On
I
some
mean,
other platforms,
sir,
we will surely like to.
if you see the new education policy, right, lot of people never observed one thing. What we did, one beautiful thing happening in this new education policy is, see, till now, what was happening in our education system, we used to have only one teacher for student. So teacher used to go to class and teach. But now, because in 21st century, in a digital world, now teacher has, student has multiple teachers. YouTube is one of the teacher.
Yeah.
Google is another teacher. Online learning systems is another teacher, right? So now the entire process, we changed more towards from a teacher driven to a student driven.
Okay.
That's the beauty of this entire application. So
Sure.
when we are preparing a young minds for future, the thought process here is, see, we have highly skilled workers, amazing technologies, we have that speed, we have the think tank, we have that jugaad in our mind. All we don't have is the right educational policy. Now we are having that education policy in place. So I see that we will definitely, let's take things forward and don't teach anything. You transform their lives. I strongly believe the minute you are teaching, I don't think, the adaptability percentage will reduce. The minute you transform, the minute you, instead of educating, you empower them. Instead of teaching, you lead them. Instead of learning, you lead them. I think these are the things, we need to change the paradigm shift in our thought process itself. But I highly appreciate, and we all welcome all your inputs and kindly contribute, for the new National Education Policy 2020. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So now I would like to request Sri Professor T. Papareddy, sir. I think now you are available technically, and if you could share your insights, we would like to hear back from you, sir. Sir, you are unmuted. You are audible, and please go ahead, sir.